The Star.
Yeah, y'all already know. Seven the pan. That dude Fizz on the beat. Yeah. We live in entertainment. Sound change. Crown the kings, homie. This is where it get ill. About to have the tip off live as a tip drill. From the court to the diamond, to the track, to the big skin, flying around the field, starting five forever, keeping it real. If it matters in the world of sports, jeans and long sleeves, they taking no shorts. Hot to death, oh yes, these other sports podcasts live as a pro's corpse. Biz market wave, the starting five goes off. No matter who you cheer for, emotions out the window, they analyze it with clear thoughts. They take it way deeper than the boys ever. No longer got any use for the four letters. The latest news, score stats in the view from the sideline. Ain't no guideline, it's just the truth. Yeah, no need to dig for a pardon line. It's always in season if people start five. We going in on three, run the baseline, start five. Get it. We got what you need. If it's sports news you see, we don't waste time. We talking cause we live it. We got what you need. We going in on three, run the baseline, start five. Get it. We got what you need. And y'all know me, seven sign, I'm the illest cat stick. I got what you need.
Oh shit. We back. Newest episode of Star 5. We're gonna try to keep it light today, because Super Bowl Sunday or big game Sunday. If you are not paid and privileged to say Super Bowl, but fuck that, we're renegades. If you want to think that too, but whatever. I digress. Y'all know who I am. Hit that box next to TJ's head. And why I'm saying TJ, he might as well talk, because y'all gonna hear a difference. Y'all see a difference. It's looking good out here. What up, kid?
Thank you, sir. On the new laptop with the new camera, the new mic. So I'm feeling good. I'm glad that I'm able to come to you hopefully technicality free today. So I'm feeling good about myself. And yeah, I'm feeling good. I mean, I love new technology. I'm like a little kid all over again. It's Christmas for me. So I'm fucking around playing with it.
Just like a little kid who can't get his hat right.
I'm having technical difficulties, man. I don't know what's going on. It's doing something wrong today. But I'm here, and I don't need my hat right. I need my mouth right. And y'all know what it is.
And right when we said technical difficulties, goes like this. Right. Definitely. But forget that for a second. The man whose hat is right indoors, the birthday boy in the building.
What's up, yo?
Hey.
What's going on, man? Yo, TJ, man. You looking right, bro. You did change the tech.
Yeah.
Yo, there's no delays or nothing. That's what's up. All right. That's what's up. What's good, y'all? What's good, Lisper? How you feeling, man?
I'm here. I'm ready for the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Like I said, we're gonna try to keep it.
What you 28 today, Jay?
Word.
Yeah, double that, and then close to double it. Yeah, man.
I wish. Double that times 2.
48, brother. 48.
48. Get your life
knocking
straight.
on the door. You right behind me.
Yes, sir.
You're right behind me. You're knocking on the door.
Hey, yo.
Pause, man. Stop it with the hey, yo.
Right behind me. Got to make sure my mouth works today. Oh, we're live today. Y'all just woke me up.
All right. God bless and good night. I'm out,
Hey, yo. He said,
oh, man.
My mouth, I just got to make sure my mouth works, and you are right behind me. But anyway, anyway, I had just a quick side question before we get right back to Tyrone, because we did mention last week there was something I wanted to bring up that I just wanted to hear y'all opinions on, that he made, like, and it caught some backlash on TikTok about. I'm gonna play the videos in a minute, but because you use this a lot, Tyrone, and I always only really see Philly people when they type in ARD. Does that mean all right then?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
because I try to sound like ard, like I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, I guess I get it, but it's like, I guess I get it, but I just was sitting there breaking it down today. Like, wait a second, my dumbass finally catching up.
Yeah, that just means all right, like whatever you say. All right, cool, all right, whatever.
That's what I figured. Call me stupid, y'all. I'm
really sorry, Ebonics. You know how we get down.
You ain't stupid. I had to look this shit up because somebody texted me that. And I was straight
up. I'm just too old now.
You missed the H, homie. Yeah. Where's the H at? Why is it hard for? Pause.
I just ask it now. I don't even try to figure it out. So I'm fucking too old. I don't got enough brain power.
I always thought they were just saying "ard." I was like, you fucking pirates and shit, like "ard, ard." But nah, to stay on Tyrone real quick. Oh shit! Why am I echoing? I thought I muted myself. Anyway. Oh. Boop, boop. Did I mute myself?
No.
I think you win twice, it looks like.
You're right, because I have my laptop on the side. And I thought I had the fucking mic off. No, I don't. Bong bong, there we go. Here we go. And Big O ain't here for me to blame the normal echoes on. But this is what I needed to do. I didn't need to pop my other window up. I wanted to share screen on this video because Tyrone, Ed said his tin cans are reverberating. But Tyrone put this up the other day on TikTok, was talking about this. Why is it not showing on my screen? Let's get this shit together. There we go. It's finally up. But listen.
Walmart mother that brought her baby wearing only diapers in freezing weather. And when confronted, she's been charged with child neglect and facing up to 6 years in jail. 26 years old Cambria Darby is now behind bars. She was apprehended at Walmart car park after shoppers called authorities on her. The 2-year-old was still freezing and shaking even after another shopper bought him pants, shirt, and a jacket. The mom was also seen chucking frozen bag at him. The mother was placed in custody and charged with child neglect, and her toddler was secured in a warm police unit. First responders evaluated the child's condition, and Child Protective Services responded and ultimately released the child to an approved relative, along with his other 2 siblings. And the Walmart worker that interfered and shared the encounter on social media is still fired by Walmart. But people have donated to her around $29,000. But what do you think about this? And will the child be in better hands now with the relative? Make sure to like and follow.
All right. So first thoughts on that, y'all, like TJ and Jamal, like, because I want to save Tyrone's point and then he'll be able to add on when I go back to this video, because he made his comments on there. But what are y'all like first thoughts about that situation?
Bro, she brought the child out in nothing but diapers in freezing cold weather?
In a fucking plastic bag.
Nah, that's child abuse. That is straight up child abuse. How do you bring your kid out in nothing but diapers and a plastic bag? And what's up with Walmart firing the worker because she called the cops for child endangerment?
She was recording it. She was
on the job and she was recording it.
Right.
I mean, that's being petty, man. I mean, she's just looking out for the welfare of a child. Like, you can't understand that? Like, you still gotta fire her for that because she was looking out for the welfare of the child and she was exposing the person? Like,
right.
The girl can't sue Walmart.
Like, the girl can't.
Yeah.
My bad. I wasn't trying to cut you off.
No, it's not like the girl could sue Walmart. You know what I'm saying? For putting her on blast like that. So what is Walmart worried about? You know, the girl wasn't saying, she wasn't posting it for likes or nothing like that. She was trying to expose the person for who she was. That's it.
Right.
That's crazy on both sides, man. That's crazy on both sides. But that's wild. You brought your kid out. I don't understand, man. I just think differently. I don't know. I could never neglect my child. Like, that's not even a thought in any way, shape, or form. to do anything like that to it. My kid, any of my family's younger siblings, my nieces, my nephews, nothing. I can't do that. That's just not in me.
Will, I'm gonna put that comment up, and we're gonna get back to that because that's a big one. But let me get back to Tyrone's take on this whole thing.
But people have donated to her around $29,000.
So now this woman it got $29,000 from you people donating to her because y'all feel bad for her getting fired when she violated a zero tolerance company policy. But y'all said, oh, she did it for the good of the baby. She did it for the good of the baby, and Walmart should have overlooked their company policy because of the reason why she filmed that. Okay, that's fine. That's fine and dandy that she filmed that. And that's fine and dandy that she helped out the baby and all that stuff you're saying. I'm not saying she's a bad person. But what I'm saying is that she filmed that for what? Like, give me the reason why her filming that was a good thing, because y'all can't. Y'all saying, oh, she filmed that. Now they got evidence that the baby was cold. They got evidence of all that. Okay, yeah, they do. They got evidence of all that. And it helps the investigation. Yeah, it does. Okay, fine. All that's true. Why did she post it on social media? She posted it on social media. She tried to embarrass that woman. Now, I understand, even if she just filmed it for the reasons why y'all saying, why did she post that? That's not something that you post on social media. And she admitted she put that shit on Facebook immediately. That's what she said. So stop with the bullshit. This woman that y'all is claiming to be a hero might have had good intentions, but she still fucking, in my opinion, did the wrong fucking thing. She still did the wrong fucking thing, in my opinion, because she didn't post that to bring attention to it. She didn't post that to have evidence. She didn't post that to do any of the stuff y'all saying to help that baby, because she could have helped that baby by just recording it. She could have showed the police that. She could have showed health services that. She could have showed everybody that. But she showed us. She showed us because she wanted us to see, because she wanted the shit that's happening right now. She wanted all of this shit to happen. Oh, shit. I just realized I'm a part of it. God damn it.
So before you go on,
so let me ask you this.
Further clarify, like, personally, I see no problem with the live posting of it, because shame away on a disgusting parent. And yes, that does build on to add on to more evidence for proof of a shithole parent, of a shit parent. But that's my thing. But go ahead, TJ.
I hate to bring race into this because, everything should be straight across. Would she have still got fired if she was white and posted the same thing, or would she have got suspended?
Probably.
I believe it's zero tolerance. I worked at Home Depot. I worked at retail. They have a zero tolerance policy for filming customers. Now, if she,
I worked at Home Depot before.
But here's my take on it. There was a customer that bought clothes for the baby and put clothes on the baby. There was other customers that said things to this woman, and we don't know these people. We haven't seen no videos of them. We don't know who they was or nothing. They took action. Child Services was called, and Child Services came there. The police came there. Everybody took action. This woman that got fired didn't take no action. She filmed the lady, and she put that shit up on Facebook. She didn't do anything to help that child. And everybody's saying, oh, she filmed it for evidence. She could have showed that evidence to the police. She could have showed that evidence to Child Services. She could have even took that to her manager and said, hey, listen, I know we're not supposed to be filming people, but this woman got this baby out here fucked up, and I just wanted to get record of it, blah, blah, blah. And she would have kept her job. I'm not saying that she was wrong. I'm saying that people are attacking Walmart for firing her when I feel like they was justifying her firing, number one. And number two, there's no reason you could tell me for her posting it on social media, other than, maybe she did want to shame and embarrass the woman, but it's that I don't like that. I don't like shaming and embarrassing our own people.
So let's say this. Let's say the customers didn't buy the child's clothes. Nobody called the police. Child Services never showed up. How are we supposed to know what happened? Except for her taking the video to the police station and doing it. That's the only way. I mean, that's the quickest way to get somebody. Yeah.
But she did not. My point is that she posted it on social media, bro. That's my point. I don't think she posted it on social media to bring attention to it. She was right there. The customers called the police. The customers brought her clothes. Everybody right there took action. So it didn't have to go on social media. So everybody's trying to say she posted it on social media to help the baby. That I don't believe that. I believe she posted it on social media because she knew that all of this shit was going to happen. She knew all of this shit was going to happen after she posted that video. That's what she posted for. She wanted she wanted all of this shit.
This right here, what Ed said, is where my mind is. Sometimes in civilized society, shaming is an important tool in changing behavior. And that's part my thing behind it. Like, I have no issue with her doing that via social media because, like you said, and like kind of to connect what you and TJ was just discussing now, where TJ put the what if nobody reacted in time. But you said, well, she could have just recorded and then brought it to the manager, then brought it to the thing. What if the manager was like, you know what? Good. Them type of people deserve to be walking around like that anyway. Brushed off. And then now we gotta wait for police. When the social media aspect of things, instant.
No, they called the police.
Instant attention.
They still had to
saying
call the police.
if nothing ever, nobody took action, and they
no,
just
right.
This chick
I know what he's saying.
Walk out with it. Right.
Yeah, you're talking what actually happened compared to what we were talking is what if nobody called the police?
What I'm saying is this, right? If nobody didn't call the police in that moment, then none of that stuff would have transacted in that moment, right? Walmart probably would have never known that she even did that. She would have kept her job and everything, and social services wouldn't have gotten involved or none of that. But I'm saying, if this girl wanted to help that child for real, she could have called the police. What do you mean? What if nobody called the police? She could have called the police herself.
No, you're right. You're right. You see
what I'm saying?
Again, you don't even have, hold on, because I agree with you in that point. She could have but we don't know if she picked up the phone first, called the police, then started recording for evidence. Like, because again, for me, to be honest with you, first off, it was a public display of disrespect, the mother being out there like that alone. So
twerking on top of that, like, that's crazy, dog.
And then throwing the frozen food at your frozen child who's sitting in a fucking garbage bag. Like, if you are not ashamed of walking around with your child like that, you shouldn't have. She damn sure didn't show the same shame in being recorded live. So fuck your feelings.
She doesn't deserve the privilege of. She doesn't deserve the privilege of
being the mother.
care of her child.
Yeah,
she doesn't deserve that privilege at all.
I
get what you're saying, Ty. With the zero tolerance policy.
That's being a company man.
No,
they're just covering their ass. They're covering their ass. They're covering their ass, and that's what they're doing.
I'm saying that I don't. Okay, so here's my thing, though. We cannot dispute that Walmart had absolutely every right to fire this girl. And we can't say, oh, we're under the assumption that Walmart was like, we're firing her, we don't give a fuck about that baby and all that. That's what we're assuming, right? But okay, that might be a good assumption. But y'all also assuming that this girl posted that on social media for the reasons why y'all think she did. When I'm thinking that she did, I don't for me,
I see what you're saying, but I'm seeing what you're saying, but where's common sense fall into this? As a corporation, where does common sense fall into this?
Common sense says,
where does common sense fall in?
Common sense says, hey, you got it to show to the police. You got it to show to your manager. Common sense also says, hey, you should not have put that on social media.
So the only problem I have within this is I get everything you said. I agree to a point. It's just you're showing corporate company man over the person. That's all. The only view I'm getting out of this is pro company, which I understand every company has a policy. But what TJ's saying, to where I really ultimately agree in, is management could have used some level of discretion. That's it. That's really all I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Is that this is not about corporate policy. This is not about nothing. Well, this is about me. If I was a manager in that situation, me, Tyrone was the manager, I would have fired her because I just don't believe she should have posted that on social media. If she would have showed me that recording and she would have talked to me, cool. But to post it on social media, I think was an unnecessary step, and that's where I would have been with that. That's me personally. I would, even if I was there. If I was there and I would have got that baby clothes and I would have did everything to help that baby and I would have talked to that woman and I would have recorded that video, y'all would have never saw me because I wouldn't put it on social media. Because even though, y'all
but that's you, that
Tyrone,
you speaking about what you would do,
right? And that's what I feel. That's my opinion would be the right thing to do, and that's what I said. I said, in my opinion, I believe that woman did the wrong thing. In my opinion, she did the wrong thing. To me. Now, all y'all people that's saying she did the right thing and saying, oh, she helped the baby out, that's cool. But I don't think that was her intentions when she posted that on social media. And I'm saying to y'all that I could have handled it the same exact way, and it wouldn't have been on social media at all.
So,
and that baby would have got the same result would have happened.
So here's this, right? She's obviously a younger person, right? So what is the first thing when somebody of that age group records something? What is their first reaction to do? Post that shit. That is their first and foremost. That's all they're thinking about.
Put it on social media.
Yeah.
But for something like that, because
they're trying to get views, they're trying to get looks, they're trying to get interaction.
But here's the difference in that is the difference in again, put it context to all of this, right? And I don't mind talking about this because I say I'm a parent, TJ's a parent, you're a parent, you know what I'm saying? But the contextually, I don't view something like that as a let me shoot my shot to get some views or to get some looks on my page. That's not something that anybody would be proud of, getting views and looks at it and shit. That to me is yo, look at this disgusting parent. How are our people walking around looking like this or acting like this? And it goes back to what Ed said before. It's the public shaming part to me that is the full effect of it. And then it just adds on. And in some ways, and in some respects, it makes the law enforcement, it made Child Protective Services react a little quicker.
What about this concept, Dan? I want to just throw this out there to y'all, right? We as Black folks get torn down enough. And I'm not saying this woman was right. I'm saying she's a terrible person. I agree with y'all. Terrible person. Should have never had her kid out like that. If that was my baby mama, some hands and feet might have been, I would have called the sisters out. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? We know that, right? But where does it stop? Where does it say, hey, we got to shame our own people? Like, that's what I thought about too. Like, I know this woman is bad. I know she might deserve everything that's coming to her, but I don't feel right. Like, we always get painted in the bad light, and I don't like that our people is putting our people in there showing the bad part of our society, bro.
I knew you was gonna answer I knew you was gonna give a question and answer your own question at the same time. Let me answer the question you wanted to deliver. I'm sorry, but sometimes fuck that. Cause I'm be the first one. Even though I'll put it to y'all like this. On my job, people who shared my melanin wanted to fight me the most on my job. Well, I ain't really do shit. To be honest with you. But mostly people of my own melanin wanted to fight my own job. So I always roll with the understanding of every brother ain't your brother, number one. You know, every person of color ain't your person. But sometimes, and it depends on the situation, like that one that we showed, I'm sorry, fuck that. There's no keeping shit. Stuff like that is that old school, we gonna keep it in the house. Ain't nobody, nah. If you a piece of shit out here, I would like to know who the piece of shits are. Especially when it comes to the children. Jamal, did you say you stepped away for a minute, but did you catch on to what was going on?
I was trying to catch up. That's right when that video started playing is when my shit went berserk here.
Oh, okay. So it was a woman who bugged out in Walmart with her child, walking with her child in a Walmart, The kid was riding in the shopper cart, was dressed in a plastic bag and just a diaper, freezing his ass
freezing cold outside.
And so what happened is a Walmart employee put it on live to show this woman like, yo, this shit is crazy. And then other people called the police. Police finally got involved. Child Protective Services finally got involved. Got the child taken away from the mother. The mother got arrested. People who were other people within the store bought the child clothes, things like that in the moment to help him out.
Yeah.
But Tyrone's beef was, well, Walmart, the company, had every right to fire her.
Oh, they fired the woman for it?
Yeah, they fired her for
because they have a zero tolerance problem.
Right. So they fired her for recording it.
They fired her for posting it, basically.
Right, which it was a
That's
live.
what they fired her for, Dan.
It was a live.
Right.
Okay. All right. Well, in a world where multiple things can be true and right, if that's the rules and she got fired, she got fired. If that's the rules. She did a great thing. She can hold her head up high. It's a fucking Walmart job. You can go somewhere else. If that kid got saved, she did the right fucking thing. It's a fucking shitty thing for Walmart to do, but is Walmart not a shitty ass place, a company? You know what I mean? So I mean, yeah, that's probably I guess one of the wealthiest companies, if not the wealthiest company. But I mean, it's fucking Walmart. You know what I mean? It's not the first time Walmart has
she got
been involved. She got what?
They gave her $29,000 on her GoFundMe, so the girl's all right now.
Yeah,
who got fired?
Target to hire her, bro. I mean, you know, it's fucked up. Walmart has never had a good public persona anyway, and if there's a wrong move to make, they're gonna make it. They've done it several times, you know. So it's not surprising. It's not surprising at all. But that woman saved the child. Who knows how much worse that could have went if there was any intervention in that scenario with that family.
Right.
You know, so.
But that was that. Like I said, I just wanted to make it because I wanted to briefly talk about that piece of shit parent and make it fair because I didn't want to talk about it with Tyrone not being here. You know what I'm saying? Because it was his TikTok that I even found out about it, to be honest with you. But
is that parent even well, bro? How you gonna have your kid dressed in a plastic bag? That's not mental wellness.
Like TJ called out, the bitch was twerking in the aisles while other people were recording it too. But while the people were following her shit, she's twerking, bugging out, throwing frozen food bags at a kid while he's sitting in the cart, all dumb shit.
That shit sounds like a cry for help to me.
Well,
she has other kids, so you might be right. It might be too much for her to handle.
Yeah,
but Jesus,
don't
take it out on the kid, man. Do not take it out on. It's not the kid's fault he's here. It's not the kid's fault he's here. Period.
Right.
Period. Kid got nothing to do with being here. You made that decision. Right. Now you got to be responsible for that decision. If you're gonna say fuck it, then put the kid in a better situation, but don't abuse the child because you can't handle it. That's just fucking ridiculous. That's fucking ridiculous. With all the help out here that you could possibly get to make sure your kids are good, if you're not trying to take advantage of every avenue or every outlet that's trying to help you raise these kids, no matter how many you got, you need to do that. But don't abuse the child and bring him out in freezing cold. You might as well let the child in the car with no heat on and just turn the car off. What the fuck you bring him inside for? Nobody would have probably ever saw the kid because it was dark outside. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you doing?
Right. You don't need to be no parent. I mean, that's just.
But right now, though, everybody put your mics on mute real quick. Everybody put your mics on mute. quick moment of silence, man, for respect for the brother. Thanks for Will for reminding us of this, man. Sammy J, we lost a brother, I believe, last year. Today was his birthday also, Jamal. So happy birthday to the late young great, because that brother was on his way to just doing phenomenal things. And to find out he would have only been 32 while this kid was rolling with his doctorate, was teaching at Villanova, was a professor at Villanova, fellow Eagles fan. I'm still a little sad that I never got the opportunity to kick it with the brother, which, he used to be a big supporter of the show. Like he was in every week when JP was still a part of the show, which JP still always forever remember the show. Foundation of Peace. But he was in all the time, every week, been on the show multiple times. So big friend of the show. Rest easy, Sammy, and a late happy birthday to you, man. But now we're going to go quickly to the sport that he loved, which was football. We gave our predictions last week. Tyrone, you wasn't here. What was your prediction for the Super Bowl? And then we're going to get into this Hall of Fame finalists and inductees.
The Chiefs, I'm not going to bet against Mahomes at all under no circumstances. I can't see what y'all think, because I don't care what nobody says. It comes down to the quarterbacks, and then it's Mahomes and it's Purdy. And if I have to count on one of them to win the game, I'm counting on Patrick Mahomes.
Well, you can't say y'all think, because only TJ picked the 49ers.
Can I say this? Is betting against Mahomes just like trying to bet against Brady at this point?
Oh.
If he wins today, then I might give him that title.
Time is terrific.
But yo, side note. Fuck that. Side note, though. I was watching a video today, a quick little, no, it was last night. It was on YouTube. It was a clip of Cam Newton talking to Warren Sapp.
Ooh, I saw that.
And he was, the label of, the label I hate about quarterbacks. What's that
game
label?
Manager
came up. And Warren Sapp, he meant, Cam mentioned about Brad Johnson, and Warren stopped him like, whoa. First things you don't do is you don't talk about my coach, you don't talk about my teammates. No, I think he said my coach, my kicker, and my quarterback. He's like, those are the things you don't talk about. But he was just like, but be real, like, wasn't he a game manager? Like, wasn't, And then Warren Sapp hit him with but what about Tom Brady? And then they said the ultimate game manager.
Elite, they called him.
Yeah, elite game manager. So Jamal, like, how I keep talking about this dumbass label. To say Tom Brady is an elite game manager, and I'm sorry if I'm going to say it like this, but to feed my ego, doesn't that kind of prove when I say all quarterbacks' jobs are to manage the fucking game? Like, to say Tom Brady is an elite, the game man, like that the quarterbacks, I've been saying this shit forever. The quarterback's job is to manage the fucking game on the offensive side of the ball, that is.
Correct, but a quarterback is a difference maker. Who said this? Warren Sapp said Tom Brady's a game manager?
No,
Cam Newton.
Here's
that face.
Here's my
face. That face.
Here's my thing, though. A game manager quarterback to me is a guy that you put in and you say, hey, man, look, run the plays we say, don't lose the game, right? The difference between Brock Purdy being a game manager and Tom Brady is this. You can also say, hey, Tom, look, nothing we doing is working. We're going to need you to go win this.
Go win us the game, right. Exactly.
You got a quarterback that can go win the game, and you got a quarterback that can just manage to not lose the game. That's where it goes for me. If I had to say, if you tell Tom Brady go out there and win this game, Tom Brady can do it. Now Cam Newton has that opinion because Cam Newton was doing all that extra shit. He's doing a lot of running. He's doing a lot of throwing. He's doing everything to win the game. So he considers himself. So he
also has a podcast to sell. So he's gonna say stuff like that.
So Warren Sapp called him a glorified running back right before all that shit started. He said, "You're nothing but a glorified running back. You went to attack." He said, "You went to attack and hunt D-backs when you were running the ball." And Cam was like, "No, that's not what I did. I did it because I could." But he called himself a game manager. But he got a little tight because Warren Sapp called him a glorified running back. And that's how the whole thing kicked off.
Context is everything.
Game managers cannot be put out there to go win the game for me. And that's where I go. If the 49ers right now said, hey, we need to win this game and nothing we doing is working, who they going to go to? They're going to tell Christian McCaffrey to win that game, not Brock Purdy.
But Brad Johnson didn't win games for the Ravens during that year. The defense won the game. It's the same argument you put up for Eli Manning. It was like the defense got them to where they were, and that was it. It was that defensive line. Like Eli Manning did nothing to go out and win the game.
And I'm raising my hand to say, because they led off the conversation talking about Brock Purdy, saying Brock Purdy is a game manager. But Brock Purdy's arm put them in position to win many games this year.
Yeah, he made some big
so
throws,
that's why that whole fucking label is stupid. Because the fucking quarterback's job is to manage the game. To go win the game if needed. That's their job.
No, the difference to me is bad quarterbacks' our job is to manage the game. Good quarterbacks' job is to win the game. That's a difference.
Every quarterback's job is to win the game.
No,
what are you talking about?
No, it's not. Brock Purdy,
Since when?
No, it's not. It's not the quarterback's job to win the game. It's the quarterback's job. Quarterbacks that aren't good, it's their job. They have quarterbacks that they say, just don't lose the game. Just do not lose the game. Do not lose. He's not out there to win the game. He's out there to do the best he can to not cause them to lose the game. We got our defense. We're going to play our defense. We're going to see what we can do. Just don't throw no interception. Just don't lose the game.
You play to win the game in every position.
That's not true, man. Your talent can't do that. Some people's talent cannot win the game.
It is true because if they're picking on a corner and they just cooking his ass for 3 or 4 pass plays down the field, and nobody can stop the wide receiver because he's getting open every time, the quarterback got nothing to do with that. The corner is losing the game for the team on defense, and they got to send help to that side.
Actually, that's not true. If that's happening, it's up to the defensive coordinator to make adjustments to negate what's happening over there on that side of the field.
But the safety sees what's happening. All the players sees what's happening. They see this guy's getting cooked.
Both things are true there. Both things are true right there. Because yes, the coordinator should be the one that gets your bum ass out and put somebody else in.
So what happens? So what happens when you have a quarterback out here that's doing too much, that's trying to make throws that he can't make,
hero ball,
trying to do too much shit, and end up with interceptions and cost the team the game, right? That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
When you got a quarterback out there that's trying to win the game that don't got the skills to win the game.
Well, so then you know what that is, Tyrone? That's the quarterback who mismanaged the game.
No, in case Lamar Jackson missed wide open receivers 2 weeks ago. Lamar Jackson missed wide open receivers 2 weeks ago, overthrowing them for big yards and big first downs and big plays, and that changed the momentum of the game. It changed the premise of the game because he didn't make the throws.
Mismanagement of the fucking game.
He didn't make the throws.
Lamar Jackson was doing too much. He wasn't mismanaging the game. He was doing too much.
But football is not. It's not a game of one-on-ones anymore. It's a game of adjustments and game plans.
Jamal,
it's a game of weaknesses.
The game of football is never a game on one-on-one, and you know
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's not a game of one-on-ones. That's just why I don't think there's any game manager. It's a game of it's a sport of game plans and adjustments and real-time adjustments.
Yeah. Real time.
the closest thing. I mean, this is why defenses play 1-on-1 in the backfield, and at the lowest percentage ever, because you're just asking for disaster for that these days. You know what I mean? So outside of the trenches, you very rarely see 1-on-1 complete battles where you can't make an adjustment to. So it's all about real-time adjustments. All about real-time adjustments. It's a team sport. You play to win at every position. If you're getting cooked on one side of the field or on one spot, you got to make an adjustment to get that thing some help. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's about who can move their chess pieces the best, man.
And it brings me back. Yeah. It brings me back to Ed's comment here that I kind of skipped over. The QB's top priority is to move the chains and manage the game. What, Tyrone? You're shaking your head. No. But
no.
What do you have to do? What do you have to do to score points in this league?
Listen,
you got to move. You got to move the chains. Yes or no?
It's not every quarterback's priority to move the chains and manage the game. There are some quarterbacks that go out there to try to win the game, just like Lamar Jackson was doing, just like Josh Allen was doing. There's a difference. There's a difference in moving the chains and managing the game. You can throw 5-6 yard passes and move the chains and manage the game. Can you throw deep balls? Can you read deep? There's a lot more.
Pause on your balls real quick. Pause on your deep balls real quick. So, right? So, as you called him just a minute ago, right? So, Tommy Terrific, right? First 4 Super Bowls. What did he do to win each Super Bowl? Manage the game, move the chains,
get it in field goal,
so Adams and Terry can kick the fucking field goal. But it's different because it's Tommy. It's different, right? It's different.
Listen, if you got a stud running back and they stack 8 in a box and he can't get shit on, it's on the quarterback at that point to make sure to move the chains, because they're daring you to throw the ball. They're daring you to throw the ball. Why are they daring you to throw the ball? Because they know you can't throw the ball.
Like Ed says right here.
That's where the trouble starts.
Ed said there are some QBs that need better coaches to stop them from trying to win games.
Right.
That's on middle management letting the talent wild out, especially if it's not working.
I agree with that. But I'm saying to you, like, if I'm a coach, I got quarterbacks that I can go out there and I can say, hey, listen, manage the game, use your check downs, do all this stuff because I know you're not that good and I don't want you to lose. Whereas I got quarterbacks out there that I can go and say, listen, go out there and do whatever you got to do to win this game, bro. And that's the difference between a quarterback that manages the game and a quarterback that I can count on to win the game.
That's dumbass take just set my sister's car alarm off because and I'm saying it like this. And Jamal, if you are a fucking coach, right, that's going to tell your quarterback, hey, I need you to go out there and manage the game and not, your ass should be fired.
Coaches do it all the time. What are you talking about?
Your ass should be fired. Because you have that shows a lack of belief in your players and in your playbook to go win you a game.
I do not believe in my players. Some players cannot believe in.
So the team is not going to perform if you don't believe in your players, bro.
Thank you.
You cannot believe.
Why are you a fucking coach if you don't believe in your players? This is outside. This is people. This is talk of people like us who sit on the fucking sidelines and think that they know what's going on. This is why we don't have fucking coaching jobs in the NFL.
Y'all acting like every NFL coach. Y'all acting like if Patrick Mahomes went down right now, that Andy Reid would have faith in the backup winning the Super Bowl, which is not true. We want to act like that's true. It's not. So you think people go in there and say, please, just don't throw no interceptions, and we're going to let the defense try to win this game.
If you really think that that's what goes on, then every coach that ever does that needs to be fucking fired.
So how do you reel a quarterback in that's doing too much then? What do you tell him?
You bench his ass or put the backup in.
You're not going to do that if it's Cam Newton. If it's Lamar Jackson should have been benched then last week. 2 weeks ago. He should have been benched
bro.
He was doing too much.
You're wilding. He
was doing too much
right now.
Lamar Jackson was doing too much last week.
You are wilding right now.
That wasn't the offensive coordinator. That wasn't the game plan. The offensive coordinator drew up. He decided to make this dude who's deadly with his legs drop back and throw. How many times? Yeah.
You don't believe. Nobody believes in the backup quarterback. That's why he's the backup quarterback.
Yo, wild.
The backup quarterback is supposed to be the fucking insurance policy for if the starter goes down. What are you talking about?
The backup quarterback is the guy you say, don't lose this motherfucking game, dog.
Yo,
you check down, don't lose this game, bro.
I love you, but you are fucking brainwashed to like all the bad take radio.
You'd be fired on day one. You'd be fired on day 1, bro. 3.
And I don't want to see a black man lose his job now. I don't want to see a black man lose his job. But holy shit.
What?
Yo, here, look, hold on. Ed said, if Walmart can fire someone for taking video, an NFL coach can fire a starting quarterback for not listening to directions.
unless it's Jameis Winston.
King crab leg.
When the Baltimore Ravens won that Super Bowl with Trent Dilfer, right? Do y'all think that coach gave Trent Dilfer any range? No, he knew Trent Dilfer wasn't good enough. He said, "Look, we got the best defense in the league.
They knew his strengths and weaknesses, Tyrone. They knew his strengths and weaknesses, and then they game planned for his strengths and his weaknesses.
Thank you.
It was like, we're not going to throw 50-yard, 80-yard bombs because you can't do it, bro. So we're going to throw you check downs and 10 and 15-yard passes.
Yeah,
that's it. That's recognizing what you have in front of you and game planning so you can be successful as a team.
Yeah,
they were playing to the team's strengths. That team's strength was the defense and that motherfucking running back they had.
If you got a game managing quarterback, but that's not every quarterback because Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, they are game-winning quarterbacks. They don't manage shit. They win.
Tom Brady, once again, and I'm going to repeat, Tom Brady managed the offense to move the fucking chains for Adam Vinatieri to kick field goals for them to win Super Bowls.
They had to count
Tom
on
Brady
him to
didn't win the fucking game. Adam Vinatieri's fucking leg won them damn Super Bowls. What are you talking about?
You had to count on Tom
Brady to win the game.
So Tyrone, when you're up like 10 or 15 points, right? What is your plan to do after that? Manage the game so you can't fucking lose it.
So you don't lose it.
Move the chains, eat the clock, and then hopefully your defense shuts them down after that.
And what happened in that Super Bowl? What happened in that Super Bowl with the Falcons when they was winning the game and they was going to win the game and your boy, the quarterback, tried to do too much and fucking cost them the comeback? What happened
Julian,
then?
And that Julian.
That was on the coaches.
Defensive coordinator.
That was on the quarterback.
Exactly.
That was on the defensive coordinator. How many points did Matty Ice put up? How many points did he put up?
Matty Ice, time out. Did Matty Ice not take a sack that took them out of field goal range that would have put him up by 10 late?
Didn't Julian Edelman
but they were
make a
already
incredible
up.
Catch that turned the tide of the game?
They were up by multiple touchdowns. That was a defensive collapse, bro.
That's it.
He did his job.
That had nothing to do with the offense.
Matty Ice still had a chance to win them that game, and he fucked up. And y'all trying to ignore that fact that he took a 10-yard sack that took them out of field goal.
He should have never been in that position if the defense didn't give up 4 fucking touchdowns.
Thank you.
And he lost them the game.
Defense gave up 4 touchdowns.
This is the problem when you
Matty
yelling outside, man.
But this is the problem,
man.
This is the problem. This is the problem when you focus your football talk around just the fucking quarterback. Jamal said it. It was a fucking defensive collapse. The defensive coordinator was pure ass in that play. He didn't manage his defense to win the fucking game and keep the score up. But no, everybody wants to put it on Matty Ice.
Because he fucked up. He made the play that cost him the
game. But that defense should have never gave up 28 points.
Thank you.
You still had a chance to win, and your quarterback fucked up.
Thank you.
Even I know not to take a sack that puts me out of field goal range in that position. Even I know you can throw the ball away. So
why was he in that position in the first place?
Thank you.
Why was he in that position in the first place?
Thank you.
Why was he in the position in the first place?
Thank you.
Had nothing to do with Matty Ice. The position he was in the first place had nothing to do with him.
So you're going to disregard his ultimate mistake.
If it's no,
But
no.
if the
See,
defense
you can't
does its
play
job,
that.
there is no mistakes.
Thank you. Thank you.
The fuck you talking about?
Thank you.
The fuck you talking about? If the defense does its job, there's no mistakes. They win the game. The fuck you talking about, bro?
TJ's computer is working fucking amazing today.
This is like the most interaction I heard from TJ.
With no tape delays, no cannon string, like Ed would say. But anyway, enough of that, because I'm tired of yelling at Tyrone. Let's get. I love it. He loves to stand on his business, and if he's a punching bag, he take it. He stands on his shit. No matter how wrong he is, he stood on his shit, and that's what it is. But look, we are up to the Hall of Fame inductions. I did have the list of everybody who was if somebody could pull it up for me, because I wanted to talk about the finalists, the semifinalists and the finalists who made it. I do have the list of the finalists who made it, and I'll just run through those names. But I wanted to go with all the other names too that just missed. But Dwight Freeney is in. Devin Hester, that's the biggest one. I know we might spend some time talking about that, but he's finally in. Andre Johnson is in. Steve Mongo McMichaels, WCW, got an NFL Hall of Famer in. Wow. Julius Peppers is in. Patrick Willis. He's one of those guys for some reason that, like, as soon as it was all said and done for him, we kind of knew he was going in. I'm gonna start with you, Tyrone, the man with the most problems with everything. Do you have any problems with anybody that made it in?
Yeah, I don't listen. I believe that Hall of Fame should have like specific wings for people to get in, but not actually get in for real. Like they should have like for Robert Ory, they should have like Big Shot Bob thing, a tribute to him, but not actually put that man in the Hall ofAme, because Robert Ory don't deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. And that's the same way I feel about Devin Hester.
If he's in the Hall of Fame building, he's in the Hall of Fame, bro.
No, I'm talking about as an inductee,
if he got a wing in the Hall of Fame, he's in the Hall of Fame, bro.
No, I'm not talking about. I'm talking about not being a Hall of Fame inductee. They should have like an honorable mention thing or a plaque or something that's saying like Robert Ory made these shots, blah blah blah.
No, because Robert Ory can say, "I got a plaque in the Hall of Fame."
Yeah, a plaque in there, but he ain't got a bust in that, John. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Listen, then Robert Ory don't go in the Hall of Fame at all. Then basically you're there, and neither does Devin Hester. I don't care, because all of his accolades, all of them run backs, all of them returns, that's cool and everything. But he was a wide receiver. He was not a good wide receiver, and he ain't going into the Hall of Fame.
He was a cornerback. He wasn't a wide receiver.
Whatever. He wasn't good at none of that. See, I didn't even know what position he played because he was guard.
No, he was a wide receiver, but part of being in the Hall of Fame is you were one of the best at what you did.
Yeah, but
there was nobody who played the return game better than what that man did.
Listen, man, when they put practice players on special team return shit, I don't care about them, okay? I don't care about the special team. If your job was to be a wide receiver or cornerback and you sucked at that, then you're not a Hall of Fame football player. I don't care.
His job also happened to be the best fucking returner in the game. And the best return guy we ever seen. Like, real quick, Jamal, I want to just, Lou said, you getting old when you have a clear recollection of these players playing, and now they going into the Hall. Absolutely. And on top of that, some of them are younger than us. How about that? But go ahead, Jamal.
They're all younger than me, that's for sure.
It's like, when you watching the sons of the players you grew up watching play now, your ass is old. You know
that part.
You know what I'm saying? No, I'm good with Devin Hester getting in. Kick returner and punt returner are NFL positions, and he was the best at those positions. He deserves to get in for it.
It's also one of the hardest ways to score in the NFL. Absolutely. Period. without
no matter what
lining up
practice
with an
play
offensive
you
line
put.
and they're getting a play drawn for you. That's one of the hardest things to do. And they would legitimately game plan for him not to get the ball so he couldn't hurt them or flip the field or affect the game in that way.
See, now
If
is
they
game
especially
changing. That's
if
not
they're
game managing.
game planning,
That's game changing.
no, if they're game planning for you to not touch the ball, that means you are doing something significantly well that they don't want you to affect the game in that way. And you deserve to be recognized for that. That's what they're doing. And kick return, punt return is what Devin Hester did the best. He was able to read his coverage and make the proper cuts and go to the house. He also had speed. So, I mean, speed kills. But to be able to read the kick off coverage and then return the shit 70, 80. It's not like he was going 25 yards or 65 yards. The man was running 60, 70, 80 yards per kick return. That's not easy to do. You have to have the stamina to do that multiple times. That's not easy, bro.
I just don't feel like that's enough contribution to the sport for me to say that motherfucker is a Hall of Fame. I just don't feel that way. That's just me.
Some of his returns in play is what helped the Bears make it to that Super Bowl.
Oh, for real.
That garbage.
For real.
Oh, because they had that game managing quarterback that definitely couldn't win it for him.
Well, shout out to the best halftime performance ever. Purple Rain when it rained. But yeah, I mean, so I mean, just side note, we'll get back to the other inductees and other people who might not have made it. But so you don't think kickers belong in there either, then, Tyrone, huh?
If they only kick kickoffs, no. If they kick field goals, then yeah, they contribute.
Okay. That's fair. Because Adam Vinatieri, once again, Adam Vinatieri should be a fucking first ballot Hall of Famer.
What about a punter? I'm not putting no punter in the Hall of Fame. That's for sure.
It depends, but see, that's a tricky one because punting can change the fucking the dynamic and the scope of a game. I mean, let me stop. Every piece on the football field is important to the scope of the overall game.
Every position.
Every single piece.
Every position.
So we gotta stop fronting just because they don't score points.
If this dude is constantly pinning your team inside the 10-yard line every time they kick the ball off, that's a problem. That's a problem for the offense.
If your kicks are averaging 50, 60 yards a punt, like, come on.
Everything that y'all say could be correct, but if y'all know me by now, y'all know I like sexy. I like the sexy shit.
Yeah.
I don't like to know that the punter has got him within the 10-yard line every time. But I don't care. I like the sexy shit. I want
you like X. You don't like X's and O's.
No, I do not. No, I do not.
I care because that means my defense gets to tee off on the fucking quarterback inside the 10-yard line.
Exactly.
I don't care.
Tyrone and the chicks dig the long balls. Pause.
Pause. I was going to say that. I was going to say that, but I didn't want to say it because of that. I didn't want to say it because of that.
But like, yo, Dwight Freeney making it, Julius Peppers making it, Mongo McMichaels, defensive lineman heavy in this one, man. Like, how do we see them, Jamal? How do you see them?
No, I don't have a problem with any of the inductees, man. I'm surprised it took McMichael that long to get in.
Word.
When was that Super Bowl? How many years? Yeah. We're talking what, 40 years almost? 40 years? Shit. But no, that was, there's nobody in there who wasn't a monster that's gotten inducted. You know what I mean?
Who's the wide receiver you said that made it, Dan?
Andre Johnson.
Oh. I don't know enough about his numbers though. I mean, I know he was nasty, but I don't know enough about his numbers to say he doesn't deserve to be in. So
yeah, like what I was reading, a lot of the inductees this year, many of them were like stayed with one team. He was one of them who just stayed with the Houston Texans, and that was it. And when they moved, he was gone.
It's like Megatron.
Right.
You know, across the board, though, I think Hall of Fame standards in most sports should probably be raised a little bit. Because I think popularity and popularity plays a lot into it nowadays, and coverage, the way sports is covered, and what have you. But I think the Hall of Fame should be reserved for the absolute elite of the elite. You know what I mean?
But
The most dominant at their position, right?
Correct. Yeah.
I see you on that, but in a way I disagree, because T.O. shouldn't have waited past his first time going in.
Well, you know what that was? That was nothing legitimate. You know what I mean?
It was popularity.
Yeah.
Here's the problem.
I think T.O.'s a first ballot should have got in right away as soon as he's eligible. I mean, how many wide receivers can we say? How many wide receivers can you say are better than T.O.?
Maybe, and I personally maybe.
That was my point. That's right. There's a trilogy of wide receivers who could be argued as the best, and there's a maybe in front of all of them. Maybe that guy's the best. Maybe that guy's the best. Maybe that guy's the best.
T.O. to me was just as good as Jerry Rice. What could Jerry Rice do that T.O. could?
That's why I said maybe.
That's the argument. That's why I was like, those guys are instant Hall of Famers to me. First ballot Hall of Famers.
Here's my argument with raising the quality of the Hall of Fame when you got a guy like Eli Manning, right? Now let's be clear. Eli Manning, if you raise the quality, what are you raising it based on? Because if you raise it based on stats, Eli can get in, but his stats are based on him playing every game for 10 years and straight. You know what I mean? Any quarterback that can play that long can get the statistical numbers. So now if Eli hadn't had the stats, right? Then if you raise the standard based on winning, Eli's won 2 Super Bowls. So does he get in for that? So what's the standard on raising? Because if you raise the stats, somebody that played for a long time can get the stats.
Eli's not in.
Are you knocking? Eli's not in. But are you knocking him for being able to maintain being healthy? Knocking him for maintaining to be healthy because he got his ass
right.
He got his shit clocked.
He didn't get fired from Walmart
more than once.
He never got fired from Walmart.
Here's my thing. Like longevity, like there are people who have a lot of stats because they've been in the NFL for a long time, not necessarily because they was good players. Hall of Fame is supposed to be the best players, but if you've been in the NFL,
you can't be in the NFL for a long time and not be good, Tyrone.
No, yes, you can. There are running backs that go from team to team that aren't that good, that kind of like stay around.
But do they have Hall of Fame numbers?
That's why they go team for team.
Yeah.
Emmitt Smith.
You know? Yeah.
That's why they go team for team.
Emmitt Smith was bad at the end of his career and got a lot of numbers, played a lot more years and got more numbers just based on him playing, not based on him being elite anymore. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying guys like that may have been elite the first, like Shady McCoy. Shady McCoy was elite for like 4 seasons, and we're calling him one of the greatest running backs ever.
Who's we?
Who's we? Again, it's because you live in Philly. He was one of the greatest Eagles running backs ever. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But forget that for a second. Ed said, anyone seen Joe Namath's numbers? Sometimes it's not stats. Joe Namath made the NFL Broadway after his Super Bowl win.
Same thing.
Which is my point in the beginning. This is what I was saying.
Terry Bradshaw has had stats.
So what about Frank Gore, who played damn near 20 years in the league?
Right. But Frank Gore was only good for about 8 of those 20.
No way. Frank Gore was damn near difference maker on every team.
No.
He damn near ran for 1,000 yards in his last season, I believe.
Yeah, because he had a different stop. There were years in between that 20 where Frank Gore wasn't shit, bro.
I know, but Ty, showing up for work should not count against the player because he was able and healthy.
Exactly.
Kept himself in shape.
Right.
It should not count against.
If you raise the standard for stats, right? Stats and the player's ability are 2 different things. Like you can play for a long time and get some good stats and not be that good of a player.
Well, Tyrone, like you should be able to understand this one. Eli Manning has a bloodline.
Dang.
And a moment.
3 of them. Yes, 3 of them.
We all know
Three of
about
them.
the bloodline. Come on, you've
Three.
been big on this. You know about the bloodline.
However, if you look at
One
individual quarterback stats, Eli's top 10 in every category.
Every category.
Every single one.
Okay.
Except for wins. But wins is a team game.
But here's
Donovan McNabb.
Not to fully
Thank you,
speak
Jay.
for Tyrone, not to fully speak for Tyrone, but I think part two is what in some kind of like internal way, what he's trying to talk about is like when you look at an Eli Manning and a lot of his numbers, when you look game by game, were quote unquote in garbage time, trying to catch up. But just like we were saying, you can't fault somebody for availability, which is the best ability. As they say, the best ability is availability. But you can't fault somebody. Well, we'll digress on that for a minute. But you can't fault somebody, and it sucks because we can look at like a freaking like a Derek Carr who got a lot of gets a lot of garbage time stats. Sometimes a Josh Allen got a lot of garbage time stats when it was like trying to play catch up. You know what I'm saying? Or there's a lot of quarterbacks who get a lot of garbage time stats trying to play catch up.
So not one of you gentlemen have answered my question then, which brings me back to my question. If you want to raise the standards of the Hall of Fame, are you raising them by stats or performance? Because there's a difference. So if you're raising
stats is performance.
How do you raise the standards? If you raise them by stats,
Jamal said it. I think
Jamal,
that
I'm asking you.
I think that the Hall of Fame
should be raised. How?
I think the Hall of Fame needs to be opened up a little bit more. I think the reins need to be loosened a little bit because there are certain people, in my opinion, that do belong across all sports. But Jamal, answer Tyrone's question if you don't mind. I'm sorry.
I think the standard should be raised for the most dominant players at each position, and it should be it should go by your individual stats. So if we're going to talk about Hall of Fame for wide receivers, let's say we take in the top five most dominant wide receivers. And the only way you can quantify, if it can't be measured and counted, it don't exist. So you have to use numbers for it. You can use a little bit of the eye test combined with it, but you have to use numbers for it. And I think eventually everybody gonna be in the Hall of Fame. You know what I mean? So I think they should raise the bar. That's a personal opinion.
I like that.
Yeah.
I respect that. Like if you quote unquote top 5 or close to top 10 statistically, and but across multiple stats, and then I would say the most important stats. Like, what are the most important stats that contributed to your team winning?
Correct. It's your personal stats, and then it's the intangibles after that. Wins and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? You got to go by stats. You have to go by stats right now.
Right, but there are many great players that were on bad teams that
100%.
that need to go in. It just the bad team aspect makes it a little harder, unless you're a Barry Sanders, which is a
Larry
fucking
Fitzgerald.
anomaly.
Right.
Look at Larry Fitzgerald. Spent only against the Cardinals. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's what I mean too. Like the stats can also taint the talent. Whereas you got Emmitt Smith, and you got Barry Sanders, and Emmitt Smith looks like a more successful running back than Barry Sanders, but Emmitt Smith had
He was more successful. He just wasn't better.
No.
Right,
I'm just saying.
right.
So he wasn't better than Barry, but his stats and his numbers and his winning makes him look that way just because of him having an offensive line. That's why I said if you switch Barry Sanders and Emmitt Smith offensive line, Emmitt would never come close to what he was. He probably would have retired 5 years ago.
But he broke the rushing record in Arizona.
Yeah, and that's the thing about it. Even after that, I mean, Emmitt Smith, he deserves to get in. Because the body of work he did with the Cowboys, it is what it is. He deserves to get in. All right. But the only folks who believe he's actually better than Barry Sanders is in VCR Nation down in Dallas.
So Emmitt Smith went to the Cardinals, right? And that whole season that he went to the Cardinals to play was basically for him to break the rushing record, right? Which means that's tainted. That's garbage time stats. That's
But he was already a qualified Hall of Famer.
I'm not saying that he didn't qualify
Yeah.
for the Hall of Fame. I'm saying that we can taint stats based on players just being able to continue to play and
He had to
more
get there
stats.
first. It's not like he got another 3,000 yards or 10,000 yards rushing with the Cardinals, bro.
No,
and to continue on, it's not really tainted because then again, I know what you're saying, because in some ways I agree, but we're faulting him because of his availability.
No. Okay, so here's the thing. If they say, Tyrone, okay, we're going by stats, you need, as a wide receiver, you need what, 30,000 yards or whatever the yards is to get in. And I got 28, but I'm garbage. I'm like not even barely making teams, right? But I got 28,000. I need 2,000 to get in the Hall of Fame. I can probably, because I played long enough, go to a couple of teams and say, hey, man, let me play this year. If I play for 3 more years, I might
going to the Hall of Fame if you only needed 2,000 yards to break the rushing record, bro.
I'm saying it's a stat. If Jamal raises the standards and they say, hey, listen, you need this amount of yards to be considered for Hall of Fame, and I'm 2,000 yards short, I can be garbage at that point in my career, and as long as I'm able to get on the field, I can probably get those 2,000 yards.
Well, if the numbers were that high, if the numbers were that high of 28,000 yards,
you Hall of Fame as it is, man.
That's what TJ is trying to say. Like your ass is in. Fuck that other two.
And if you're
not if they say
still able-bodied enough,
30,000 is the standard, your ass is not in.
If you're still able-bodied enough to go to get garbage time yards and get that thing, then you deserve to get
it. That's it.
But no, there's no foolproof system. It's going to be nuanced at all of it. The best way we can get it right is just numbers. Yeah.
Joel Embiid was having a Hall of Fame season right now, right? He was a top scorer, best center in the league, hands down. If Joel Embiid never plays another game, he can't get into the Hall of Fame. He cannot get into the Hall of Fame because he wasn't available much of his career.
Right.
Much of his career. Longevity counts. Longevity counts, man. And his playoff record ain't that great either, but we're not going to even get into that. It's just the saying we can't reward these guys for having one great season or a couple of great seasons string together, and you only played 6 out of the 12 years that you were in the league, and the other 6 were injury riddled. You can't do that. They don't deserve it. They don't deserve that honor or reward because you're I don't want to say mediocrity, but you're just rewarding him for the time, the little bit of time that he was there. You can't do that.
Right. Like if somebody got in the hall, right, that was like an okay middle of the road player, but spent 25 years on the team, I'm okay with rewarding somebody for tenure like that, but you have to put in time. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't see and because we mentioned it briefly before, but without saying like these positions when I mentioned kicker, but like long snappers can spend 20 plus years in the league, close to 20, because
there's a few in the Hall of Fame.
Their position is so like you're not doing much at long snapper. You know what I'm saying? But if you were on Super Bowl winning teams and played 20 years, you know what I'm saying? Like there's that level of Super Bowl winner, like this. So where Jamal says that there should be a bar, excuse me, it should be at like spots like that, because I personally do believe, especially with a game of football, baseball is a different story because every position is represented in the Hall of Fame, one way or another. The Baseball Hall of Fame is more of a popularity contest than your stats. And popularity by way of you got to be friends to the reporters who do the voting. Why Barry Sanders ain't in? Don't say the drugs because
Bonds.
His numbers. Barry Bonds, Barry Bonds ain't in. More because of his fucking popularity was always negative to the reporters. You know what I'm saying? But NFL wise, I do believe every position should be represented by at least one. Because, like what
Yes.
I continue to say, every position counts. All 22 offense, defense, plus the other 11 on your special teams units. It all counts. Every piece. Now, I'm not saying the practice players, because the practice players are important to the success, the overall success of a team. Somebody's got to be there to get you ready each and every week to be the superstar athlete or the game managing quarterback each and every fucking week. But if you're a starter and you're a long-time starter at whatever, there should be somebody that represents, to me. That's just my opinion. That's just
I feel you. Yeah, no, it's like you said, compared to other sports, one person can't really take over a game. You know what I'm saying? Football is, you need all the parts to be working at the same time to be successful. It doesn't work anywhere else. Basketball, one person can take over a game. Baseball, the guy gets up and he can clobber 4 home runs in 4 at bats. He can take over a game. Maybe even soccer, because the one person is so dominant that you're trying to stop him that he can take over a game. You game plan to stop the one person and you want the other people to beat you. But football, you can't do that.
especially at the quarterback position, because you can be Tom Brady and every receiver has a case of the dropsies all fucking game. How great of a quarterback are you without people catching the ball?
And they blame the quarterback for that. They
Right.
blame the quarterback.
They blame the quarterback because
it's unfair.
You didn't catch the ball like this.
Right. You caught it with your body. You didn't catch it with your hands.
But it's the quarterback.
Nelson Aguilar.
But it's the quarterback's fault. It's always the quarterback's fault.
Yeah, you can't say that. Yeah.
Team gave up.
You can't be a great
points,
if you're a
but
quarterback.
It's the quarterback's fault, according to Tyrone.
Right. If you got a great wide receiver, who's throwing you? I mean, you can't be a great wide receiver without the quarterback, and you can't be a great wide receiver without catching the ball that the quarterback throws to you. No matter how difficult the catch, the pass is, you caught that shit. At that point, the wide receiver says, "I made you look good," which is facts, because I caught the pass.
But they don't, because the reporters just say this quarterback threw for 400 plus yards. Well, who did they throw the ball to? They didn't throw it up and let me run under it, do the Mr. Perfect fucking promo skit and catch it myself. Wow, for 77 yards? Like, you're not doing WWE promo skits with the quarterback. The quarterback doesn't play the game by himself. Do you understand?
He doesn't.
Did I further not make the point to y'all to why I could?
You need time to read the defense.
Too much. Too much, yo. Too much.
It's a lot, man.
What else do we have? Besides, game predictions? We did that already.
Well, I can segue right into this. Also, a voting situation. I found out something that I did not know about the Grammys.
You didn't know something, Ty?
No.
You were not knowledgeable about something? Whoa,
hey, man,
whoa.
Even the best of us. I'm just saying. So when Jay-Z made his point about Beyonce having the most Grammys and never winning Album of the Year, I was like, damn, Jay-Z right, that don't make no sense. But then when that Grammy guy rebutted him, that Grammy guy told me something that I did not know. Album of the Year and all of those Grammys are not based on anything public. He literally said that they just have a group of people that go in there that listen to the albums that's in the category and they vote. Period. It don't have nothing to do with sales. It don't have nothing to do with videos. It don't have nothing to do with nothing. It don't even have nothing to do with even if they know the music or not.
Stupid.
Hold on, but here's the other thing he said.
Stupid.
He said that they analyze and vote on the quality of the albums and not actually on like the music subject or anything like that. So that changes things a lot, though. For me.
Well, to build on that, he also said, the thoughts and opinions on music is subjective, which that's the key words to everything right there. It's always subjective. And to me, it speaks of, if people perceive that there's a level of corruption, which there's a level of corruption in every walk of life and if you want to take that there's a level of corruption, I ain't mad at you, because when you're looking at and you can only picture it as a small base compared to the people who actually pay for the music and stuff like that. These people are given the music. How much? And then we could call the question, how much are some of these people paid from some of these labels to not, to vote or nominate or do something to some of these people? You know what I'm saying? Like, but it blew my mind where more were like, oh shit, Beyonce never won album of the year. Where the point that I took that made total sense, Jamal, was how do you win so many categories in a year for songs, writing, all this stuff? All those categories don't carry to say, hey, this album just happened to be the best that year. That's what I think makes the least amount of sense.
Well, and just like anything else, it's subjective to the people in power who finance the shit. It's just like the Oscars, just like everything else. It don't make no sense. They don't got it. This don't make no sense. It's whoever they feel like should be getting shit. And he was right about it.
I'm not saying Jay-Z was wrong, but I always believe that there was a criteria for even getting to Grammy nominations. I believe there was a criteria for how they certain songs and stuff like that. And there's literally not. They literally go, okay, these are the nominees, and they give them to the 12 people that vote, and they go listen to these 12 albums or songs and come back with what y'all. It's like it's not a real criteria or nothing.
No, there is a criteria to even getting close to the nomination. There was a criteria. There is a criteria for that.
I'm talking about for the once all of the nominations are done and they got the actual people that they got that are saying these are the categories, these are the nominees for that category. After that, he literally was saying like they just get a bunch of people and those people vote based on listening to it. So it's not a public perception where I might be like, damn, Beyonce's album was great and millions of people might have bought it and everybody danced to it. And somebody that we don't even know wins the Grammy and we're like, how the fuck did that happen? But now I know how I didn't never know that it just happened like that. You know what I mean?
Well, I probably think that the voters do have something that they kind of unanimously look at. But if we just take this person, it's like going back to the Hall of Fame and the stats thing. It's like, well, if this person threw for freaking 40,000 yards, 300 touchdowns in their career, but been sacked 90 times, but this guy got in and threw 46,000 yards, has 200 touchdowns, but won 2 Super Bowls. Like, what are we balancing it against? Like, is it automatic because the guy won 2 Super Bowls over the person who had better numbers? Or is the album sale? It's just like, all right, I could almost correlate it to how y'all remember how people used to try to argue down that certain rappers were better than other rappers because rapper A went platinum while rapper B barely went gold.
Right.
But does the sales truly tell the story?
Isn't that personal opinion at that point, though? It seems like the Grammys are based on personal opinion, because if they have to listen to these albums and they don't like R&B in general, they're not going to favor that album at all in their voting.
Well, TJ, here's how I kind of took it, and I could be wrong, but here's how I kind of took it. You know how record execs and people who do music listen to music differently than we do. So sometimes they can hear something in the
Right.
production, or hear something in the song, or hear something in the way the song was made that we don't know about, that can give them an opinion that one song is better than the other song. And we might listen to the two songs and go, wait, that song's fucking garbage. But then they can come back and go,
But the
do you
whole
hear
album,
the
though,
hear this? Do you hear that? Yeah, the whole album, that's
the
ridiculous.
whole album
That's
is
ridiculous.
crazy, man.
That
You
is.
can't
That's
say that.
ridiculous.
Yeah, I can see you saying a song here or there, but not the whole album, dogs.
Right.
Right. And
Not the
like to
whole
your
album,
point,
especially
Tyrone,
when there's
because
different producers on the album. You know what I'm saying? And each producer is different in their own way. So
and
I
that part
know
was
they're all
what
perfectionists in one way or another.
and that part there was
Go ahead,
I
Dan.
could tie the two together. I'm sorry for jumping in the way I did, because it could be somebody like, oh shit, yo, Jaco Pastorius played the guitar on this many tracks. Holy shit, like that guy deserves something. And if y'all know, every person who's a piece of an album gets, if you win a
Yeah, they
Grammy,
get a Grammy.
everybody involved won a Grammy. Oh shit, we might want this guy to win because this guy deserves it. You know, fuck it, I'm gonna vote for that. You know what I'm saying? It could be that, like, that microscopic, like.
And then back to your earlier point, right? I always argue with people about Eminem, right? And all the people, every time they argue with me about Eminem, when I try to put him up in GOAT status, they always argue with me. And I always say to them, well, what's your GOAT criteria? What is your criteria for you saying that a rapper's a GOAT? And everything they name, Eminem can fall into that criteria. And then they look at me and they go, and I go, yeah. So, you know what I mean?
That bad example, because people just don't want to admit, they don't want to prop him up that high because he's white, and that's it. They just don't want to. They don't want to admit it. They don't want to say it out loud, but that's exactly what it is.
Facts.
That's exactly what it is. But you know, I didn't want to go into it, but because you brought it up, like, somebody made, like, in my opinion, like an asinine tweet trying to discredit Jay-Z because he stepped out and spoke, what people would say is on behalf of his wife, and tried to throw shade like, oh, he abandoned his friend Dame Dash to go this way and earn millions, while Dame Dash is
To go to
still
Def Jam.
over here and doing whatever. He sold out the city of Brooklyn and aided to gentrification and the building of the Barclays just to build more capital. The one part that got me the most, which we've talked about to death on here, was they said he sold out the movement from Colin Kaepernick, tried to say he was on the side, and then sold out and took a job with the NFL, basically selling out the movement, disregarding the movement. When that point, what I stuck on that comment the most, because I was talking to people at work yesterday, and I was just like, does that asshole person who made that tweet realize the job that Jay-Z took was pretty much to curate the halftime shows, right? Every halftime show since he's been in that spot, if not all of them, have been black as fuck.
That was going to be my point. That was going to be my point. Like, he took a job, and the halftime show is made by black artists that are still going to perform at the halftime show regardless. You don't give up. See, this is the thing. People always think that people are supposed to sacrifice their shit for other people's shit. And it's like, yeah, Kaepernick, you made a stand. Yeah, I stand with you, but you don't give up that job. For no reason, under no circumstances, as a black man in Jay-Z's position, do you turn that fucking job down. Because guess what? You might can make more moves on the inside than you can make on the outside. So yeah, even if I was standing with Kaepernick, I take that NFL job, and then maybe I can get in there, and maybe I can talk to some people inside that maybe I can help. But I'm not. That's why I was talking to y'all last week about how far does y'all morality go, because like you turn down that job to take it, like you don't turn down that job. Just like if you're a black artist during that time and they ask you to do the Super Bowl halftime show, listen, you ask me to do Super Bowl halftime show, I might say, hey, Kaepernick, I'm with the kneeling and everything, but I'm doing that performance. Like that's something that's like a bucket list thing. You can't turn that down. You know what I mean?
And it, to my understanding, it doesn't even pay well, if at all. It's just a look, but it's also what you do within said look.
Right.
Right or wrong, TJ Jamal.
It's a huge look. All right, to have your name associated with it to Super Bowl. That's bringing more people to your brand, your product, whatever it is, because you are associated with the Super Bowl. That brings a casual, average person that doesn't give a shit about football until the Super Bowl to take notice. You understand? Who does listen to music but doesn't pay attention to the sport. So yeah, it's a big deal. It definitely is a big deal. Like you said, it's been black as fuck ever since. And you know, he's trying to help advance the people. He's not trying to hurt just one person. He's trying to advance the people. He's trying to put, we didn't have any other people. I don't know of any other black people in that position before Jay-Z took that job. Do you?
Fam, it's just like when it comes to critiquing Jay-Z,
Jamal.
I mean, when it comes to critiquing Jay-Z, I mean, the man is not without flaws. He's a capitalist, 100%. You know what I mean? He's a capitalist, 100%. But like, a lot of the criticism he gets, people aren't even qualified to critique him because of the type of moves he makes requires such a different thought process that those folks aren't qualified. They don't to get the level he is. You can't think a certain way. You just can't. You know what I mean? Yeah, he's a capitalist. I don't agree with everything he does either. But like, I mean, to advance the way he does, it's just beyond some people's, scope of thought. That's just what it is. You know what I mean? And as a billionaire capitalist, yeah, I mean, you ever known a honest billionaire? Right? That quote is that quote is one of the most truest things I've ever heard. So I mean, yeah, a little bit shady, a little bit, but I mean, we need folks in them spaces, and he's, whether you like him or not, if he's in those spaces and gets successful, you don't gotta like him, but he looks like you look like, so it makes it easier for you to advance in that space, for us as a people to get in those spaces, right. And, so it's.
And I talk like this, and I move how I move, and I'm a bum. If I was a billionaire, shit, you can't tell me nothing.
And I'm gonna repeat what I've been standing on within the whole Kaepernick movement. We spited almost 80% of the other people of color in the league for one person. For one person. So a lot of the people who did step aside, they weren't as invested fan-wise as we were in the sport in general. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But I respect when you want to stand on your business, you stand on your business. But it's also, but what about everybody else? What about everybody else within that picture? It's not like people didn't disagree with him, even though some people did disagree.
No.
But
that Kaepernick shit to me should have stopped almost immediately, because when he started it, it was about, Black lives and about, brutality on Black people and all that. But as soon as they started talking about the flag and the military and they changed their whole narrative, that was it. Once the Black part was out of it, I didn't want to hear it no more. I wanted to get back to football because I don't care about the flag, the military, the president, the disrespect. All of that shit was not what that whole thing was about.
Exactly.
So once they changed the narrative, that shit was over for me.
Exactly. But to put it back to Jay-Z, like it's people out there. The Jay-Z hate is crazy to me because it's people that if they were in his tax bracket, yeah, you might have done things differently.
No,
but you ain't in his tax bracket, and there's a reason for it.
Yeah. They didn't talk about Dame bringing in Cameron on all his Harlem homies though. They don't bring that up. Jay-Z didn't have nothing to do with that. Dame basically brought in all his Harlem homies to take over Jay-Z's company.
A company that they were partners in at that. And sometimes business dealings make you separate. The person who made that tweet tried to say, "Oh, he abandoned his friend." who said that throughout that whole business relationship they were even like the closest of friends? They might have played so on TV.
Also,
Yeah,
I don't know.
that was probably an alliance, man. Whatever. It's
What?
Right.
no one's. We're
Yeah.
not on the inside,
Also,
so we
when
don't
I
really
don't know if anybody saw that video where Dane was like screaming on them people at Def Jam. He was like, "This is my artist. This is my artist. This, that, and the third." And I was like, "But he's not your artist. You guys brought this in together at the same time. Y'all made this happen. So you can't really say he's your artist.
He was managing.
Without
him,
him,
so
you don't
kinda he
have
could, though.
Rockefeller Records. So he's not.
Yeah, but he was
I
kind of
understand
managing.
that,
So
but it's just
it
like
it's a symbiotic relationship, though. Like they do roll as
that's
one.
a gray area.
True indeed.
You
Right.
ain't got no artist.
But
You
to
don't got
make
no
the-
artist if I don't distribute his stuff. That's all I'm saying.
that
I'm
part.
the distributor. So if I don't put this shit out, you can take him out.
You know. But the Jay-Z hate is just it makes no damn sense.
Yeah.
It makes no damn sense. I mean, Jamal Brooklyn, the one valid point could be perceived to be the Barclays Center deal.
I mean, again, like I said, the man is not without flaws. You know, who is? You know,
Right.
people are definitely shades of gray, but I mean, you should want all your favorite rappers to ascend to levels like that. You know, to move into those spaces. And he has to be applauded for where he came from to where he is now. For his quality of thought, his instinct, his cunning, you know, his understanding of business, that shit has to be applauded. You know what I mean? You've seen an entire generation, those first 2 or 3 generations of rappers, there's no old timers day for them. They came, they created the culture, and they don't got nothing to show for it. And it's fucking terrible.
Right.
And
right.
You have a rapper like this now who's said, this is not going to be me, it's not going to happen to me. And I want that for all of hip hop. What he has, I want that for all of hip hop.
Right.
Because
most rap. Go ahead.
We've created the most profitable and influential movement of the last 100 years, and everyone else has earned off of it and gotten rich off of it, except for the creators.
We created the number one culture going today.
So I'm saying, yeah, and so I'm not going to be mad at that dude, and they may think he's arrogant. Well, you know what? He deserves to be arrogant. Fuck, whatever. It is what it is. He stands on his business. He says, you know, he proves himself to be correct. You know what I mean? And again, he thinks in a level that he thinks in a way that most of the people who critique him just can't think. So they can't connect with him anymore.
Right.
He's not going to stay the same dude he was when he first come through.
And maybe outside of maybe like Andre 3000, every rapper in this game is trying to get where Jay-Z is at.
Of course.
Financially, just influential wise.
Everybody and anyone in business is going to get to that point.
You're right. They're trying to get there.
And that's from the underground and lower.
And you can see from the results that they're just not doing what it, or they don't have the knowledge or the cunning, like you said, the instinct to make that shit happen for themselves the way he did. You know what I'm saying? It's just not there. Everybody can't be at the top. As much as we want them to be, there's levels. Like everything, there's levels to this shit. And Jay-Z is operating at the highest level right now.
Yep.
And besides his money, his influence and his power and his name carries weight. And you know, you want that type of respect where you can carry that type of weight. And if you're not doing things to get there, or it's like you said, they got flaws. If it's compromising your morality, like Lisper says, or it's compromising your ideals, then you're not going to get there. You're going to have to step on a few necks. You're going to have to step on a few people's toes. You're going to have to cut people off that you might believe that shouldn't be, but Like Benny the Butcher's album says, everybody can't go. Everybody can't go. And that's what it is. Everybody can't go there.
And with that being said, we out. No closing shout outs and all that. I'll tell y'all what happened in a minute, but we got to close the show because I have to get up. All right?
Okay.
Peace, y'all.